Hey everybody, welcome to Mighty Modern. I'm Corbin Hostler. This is Mardu Eldrazi, and this is a pretty sweet hand. So this is a deck I've worked on a lot. I went on the Masters of Modern podcast a few weeks ago and talked about this deck quite a bit, and everyone's been hitting me up for the list since then. So I wanted to share it here. And I first touched on this deck a year ago. I really built most of this myself. Other people have had some black-white Eldrazi, black-red Eldrazi, but I've really worked on sort of mashing everything together as best I can, and I'm pretty happy with how it has turned out. So we're going to go ahead and see what we can do in this match here. Our opponent's maybe on Grixis Death Shadow here, if I were to guess. Thoughtseize, huh? That's not a bad one. Well, I like tearing apart his hand with all these discard spells. Oh my gosh. Okay, Tezzerator, huh? You can brutality me if you want. I gotta take the bridge because that's the one we can't beat. I mean, our next turn's kind of sweet. We can play the Temple, play the Talisman, and Thoughtseize / Inquisition him, depending on what he does to us here. I suspect he'll brutality, or not. Great. Okay, well, we will go ahead and play the Talisman. And Inquisition again. Take the Brutality. He's got nothing but lands. Next turn we get to play Mind Stone plus Thoughtseize away the Tezzeret. And then we have to hope he just doesn't rip something to get us with the Thopter Foundry Sword of the Meat combo. Nice. Okay. What all can we do here, actually? Can I go... Okay, I cannot. Because I need the white mana. Say I could tap, let's say the Talisman and the Temple to play the Mind Stone. Yeah, I can't play both. Because in order to do this, we'd have to do this. Yeah, it doesn't work. So I think the Mind Stone's actually not as important here as just playing the Displacer and getting a threat down. So yeah, I'm just going to go ahead and Thoughtseize. Get his Tezzeret, leave him with nothing but lands. Deal ourselves a million damage, but our opponent is completely out of cards. And we have a Displacer, which is actually kind of good against the Thopter Sword of the Meat combo, depending on, just how fast it gets out of control. Fatal Push, huh? Okay. This would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, so we may as well keep up the path. Okay, sweet. Well, I will probably crack the Mind Stone at the end of the turn to draw a card. The most worrisome draw for our opponent's obviously Sword of the Meat. That's the one we probably can't beat without drawing Kolaghan's Command, and even then we may not since he has 2 Thopter Foundries. But War of Invention also gets him there, so this could be pretty bad for us here. We're actually not in as good of a spot as it might seem. Okay. Or he'll draw a bridge. Well, that's pretty bad for us. Alright, we're digging for Kolaghan's Command. That's that's kind of unfortunate because we tore apart his hand. We did everything we wanted. He had to top deck his way out of it, and he did. I mean, to be fair, there's a lot of good top decks. He can draw Sword of the Meat there. Although there's probably only 1 or 2 Sword of the Meats in the deck. There's a max of 3 bridges in the deck left. He doesn't have great odds, but he has okay odds there. So we'll do this. This actually stops Sword of the Meat. This stops one of his main win conditions. Although maybe not actually with 3 of them out, you may be able to stack it all in such a way that it doesn't stop it. I think that might be the case. Okay, well. It's tempting to just pop it off for a card here, but I don't think that's correct. I mean, he has a lot of good draws. We have good draws too, though. Honestly, he probably has better draws than us. Okay, well, now I'm going to cash it in. Okay, well then. Alright, I guess. Well, we're not dying to Sword of the Meek, I suppose. We can also Thought Knot lock him. So I guess we both just have a ton of good draws. And we'll see who top decks out of it first. I think his are a little better than ours, but maybe not by a ton. That, however, was one of the ones that was very good. We can bolt it, but we're still going to die. Yep. Sure. This doesn't feel great. I think we're going to die to this Tezzerator. You can just minus the You can just use the Tezzerator to kill us. I think we're dead. It was a top deck battle, and he hit his first. If we had hit Thought Knots here, we would have just locked him out of everything except War of Invention for the rest of the game. So we had more, and we had more Thought Knots than he did Tezzerats at that point. So okay, are we dead? I mean, he only has 5, right? This doesn't kill us. You just draw another one. Man, I guess I got massively outplayed. Okay, well, let's move on to the next game. Wish I had Sony silences right about now. I do not. Do have a lot of good cards still, though. It's a lot of cards we could bring in. I don't see how many of them we actually want. I mean, Stranglers do nothing. Paths do a little, I guess. Probably not, actually. It's just probable that none of those do anything. The lightning bolts are nice for finishing them off, but maybe not actually that good. Oh, the hangerbacks, I think, are pretty bad. I think I can cut a couple bolts here. I'll give this a shot. I'm not sure if this is correct or not, but this is what we're going to roll with. We got pretty savagely out top deck there, which is kind of rough since we actually saw more cards as a result of those relics. He had probably better draws overall. Like he had more devastating draws. Like drawing Tezzeret is a lot better for him than say drawing. Well, maybe it's not even true because like the ones we want to draw, Kolaghan's Command and Thought Knots here, and both of those would just lock down that game. But we also had like probably more dead draws overall. But regardless, that's the way it goes sometimes. Now, I like that, unlike, say, a Bant Eldrazi deck, which is just in a lot of trouble against the Tezzerator deck, we can contort our deck to really have game against it. I'm going to try this one. This hand isn't great, but we have a lot of good draws, and we do have the Rest in Peace, which is strong. And maybe I can mulligan to something better than this, but this hand is how to rest in peace. Still, I mean, we'll see. We'll see what we can draw here. We have a million discard spells we can draw to mess them up. Alright, looks like we need the Sacred Foundry here, I guess. Yeah, probably doesn't matter too much. Okay, I like it. Turn 3 Thought Knot at least. Thought Knot into the Displacer, so drawing out Eldrazi Temple would be the dream here. This could be good. Don't want to get Thought Seized or whatever here. This Tezzerator is really cool. I'm pretty excited to play it at some point on stream here. I haven't got around to it yet, but I'm going to. Certainly imagine within the next month or so. It seems like pretty decent in Modern. You see it put up results on Magic Online pretty regularly. It's a nice prison deck. It's got a good lock at the end of it. And it's got good pieces to get it there. I think it's pretty powerful. It's a good thing we got this Sun, huh? Because that turn 2 Pentad Prism is very scary out of this deck. It's so good it can add basically 3 mana for War of Invention. All right, let's hope this Thought Knot sees a hand that doesn't just completely wreck us. Okay, well then. It's a lot of stuff I can't beat. I mean, I have to take the sword, right? He's just going to play Tezzerator. Well, I guess he can't play Tezzerator and Bridge. Unfortunately, we can't play this. I got to get rid of the sword of the meat, though. Or the game's just over. So if he draws land, he'll have 5 mana. 6 mana if he draws land. Well, and he has to have another artifact for that Mox Opal. Right, which he does, but that means he's using his mana on that. So we can draw another Thought Knot, we can draw any discard. Oh my god, he just... Okay, well that's pretty annoying. If there's one thing I can't do, it's beat top decks. Okay, well maybe we can now. Good top deck deserves another, I guess. It's actually going to be a really nice one. Yeah, that was a good draw. That was a really good draw for us. So we should attack first, I think. We need about as much value as we could possibly get off of those engineered explosives, to be honest. Alright, black, white, E for 2. He gets a 1/1 at the end of the day here, but that's sort of fine. We get to untap. The bad news is we're losing our talisman, so we're not going to have Thought Knot lock on him next turn. And he can still play Tezzerator, and he has Bridge, but we're messing with his mana pretty hard here. And we can just blink the token out of existence. That's not a big deal. The problem is if he top decks and well, here comes. He actually doesn't have Tezzerator because he only has 2 artifacts. He does have the Bridge though. So now would be the turn to draw a discard spell named Thoughtseize. Okay, and we're going to draw a dead card instead. This is such a rough way to lose. We did so well. If he just hadn't ripped on that turn, we would have been fine. Because now he can play his Tezzerator and kill us. Like, we'll have Thought Knot lock, but we're not going to be Tezzerator plus a Thopter. These games have been so close, and we've just gotten. I don't even know if we've gotten unlucky. He's gotten lucky. I think is that these top decks have been much better than ours. to prove the point, he found Thopter Foundry with the Tezzerator. Not that I guess that's incredibly relevant because we're going to exile it, but ooh, okay. Does that even matter though? I mean, we're going to name Thopter Foundry and get rid of it. We're still going to die to Tezzerator. All right, we'll give it a shot though. Oh, he's got Serum Visions in hand. That's a pretty good one. Okay, well, we got his 2 Thopt and the one in the graveyard. Yeah. Okay, so we got all the Thopter Foundries. Left in his deck is a Gearpore Aether Grid to kill us. Crucible Worlds would be pretty good. It's a lot of cards that do nothing. So he actually had very few. He had very few outs, and he drew pretty good ones. So we're fighting uphill now, but we're not dead because of this draw. So he gets the Serum Vision. So it's basically just the War of Inventions we care about. Just because he gets more bridges, and we have a hard time killing multiple bridges. Outside of that, we just are going to get killed by Tezzerator Ultimate or Gearpore Aether Grid. So, all right, I guess we have hope. We can blink the Thopter. I won't be doing that. I mean, we're going to have to draw a bunch of lands before we start doing that, but not being able to just say he's just going to find all his bridges. He's just going to play more bridges than we... Well, what do you know? He put an Insane Bridge into his hand. Yeah, we're just going to die to Tezzerator. Very frustrating way to die, as a matter of fact. Oh. We can stop the Thopter, and we're just going to die a slow, slow death to Tezzerator. Man, this is so painful. The long lockout here. I guess that means I can blink the Thopter and blink his draw step. We're not beating. We're not. He has 3 bridges and we have 2, so we have to find 2 Kolaghan's commands somehow before he finds his other bridge. It seems pretty unlikely. Okay, well, we'll hit his draw step. Hit your War of Invention, I guess. So he can war for 3 anyways. We just can't catch a break. Oh man, yeah, I know Magic Online. Here comes the 3rd bridge and we can't win anymore. We have 10 points of burn in our deck. We were so close. Yeah, the Crucible's fine, I guess it really doesn't matter. Herald of Anguish, you say, huh? So why would this be in the deck? I guess it's just removal. You can't attack. You can have it, I guess. Like, I'm going to give him Thoughtseize because the only way I think we could possibly win is if somehow he decided to Thoughtseize himself down to 10 and we drew all 10 points of burn or something. But I think we died when he was able to resolve Tezzerator and then follow up with Bridge. As a matter of fact, he's just a few artifacts away from killing us. He has 4 artifacts in play right now. He only needs 2. I guess he needs several more, but he's got multiple turns to get there. I'm not scooping yet, but I mean, we're pretty dead. If we were to able to exile his other bridge and then find our Kolaghan's command somehow, that's the tiny line we're clinging to. Okay, well, there's the bridge. Oh, he's got Ghost Quarter now. He's got Ghost Quarter lock on us with the Crucible, so we're dead. Rather, I guess maybe we have 1 turn, right? We can, if we go runner, Kolaghan's command here, we're not dead, but otherwise we are. Puts a bauble into hand. Tezzerator deck is very good. I mean, I honestly think we have a good matchup against it, but we got pretty unlucky here. Alright, we have died. Well, that's pretty frustrating, but his deck's really good. Those were close games, so those are well played.